Okay, so why do we do this? These are just some figures on, like, to give you guys more of a why do we do these things. I'm talking about the food industry and how messed up the food industry really, really is. Looking at these figures, so why do you do this? Besides looking good naked and feeling amazing, 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, and 9 out of 10 people have no idea that they are pre-diabetic. So that's terrifying right there. We won't even build into that anymore because diabetes can be terrifying in and of itself. This generation of children may be the first to not outlive their parents because of massive rates of obesity that are going up and chronic disease that we're finding in kids at crazy young ages. It's absurd what's happening right now. And you can just go to a regular preschool or kindergarten and you can look around and you're like, wow, yeah, I see that. I can see that. Recent studies found that 1 in 4 adults had 2 or more chronic diseases. Not 1, 2 or more chronic diseases. And some of us might have them. We don't even know that we have these chronic diseases. It's absurd what's happening. 7 out of the top 10 causes of death in 2014 were chronic disease related. We're killing ourselves with this stuff. The food we are eating is killing us. It's messing us up. It is what's messing us up. We have to look at the food. If it's not from the food, there's some other things that are really messed up. But you guys can't feel bad about this either because you are set up to fail. If you've gone through diets in the past, you've made efforts, you've done things on your own, and you failed, don't feel bad because you are completely set up to fail. The food industry's job is to make money selling you as much food as possible, and they use all the scientists, all the smart people in the world to make food as delicious and rewarding as possible. They toss in exact amounts of sugar, salts, and fats to make it more satisfying and just addicting. It's addicting. It can be more addicting than intense drugs and intense drug use. It's terrifying. It's terrifying when it is. Yet it's so in our culture again. So again, we're going to move into sugar and stuff here. This stuff, sugar is the big bad. It's so in our culture. It's so into what we do. I mean, it's literally in everything. Connor had an energy drink that he was known for. It's called Bang. I think it's kind of marketed towards health enthusiasts, people that want to work out as a pre-workout. And one of the things that's claimed, it's got no sugar, no added sugars in there. Well, sucralose is one of the main ingredients in there. It's just a different form of sugar. It's so messed up how they can get away with putting ingredients into foods and masking it and making it look like this is better, but it's not. It's in literally everything. So why sugar is so bad? The number one thing you guys can do to increase your health and to feel better is to remove sugar from your diet. We kind of talk about it a lot, and I think that is tossed around kind of willy-nilly at this point in day without really understanding what's going on and what sort of rotting sensations are happening in your body after you do it. But let's take a step back and just, why do you get fat? Why do we really get fat like that, and how does sugar make that happen? Well, whenever you eat some food, and specifically sugars and glycogen and specifics, you spike your insulin. And insulin is a hormone that our body regulates. It helps convert ADP to ATP. It helps our bodies convert sugar to energy. Okay, and that energy then is used for whatever we need it to be. And if we're putting in a lot of sugar, we have lots and lots of consistent sugar. We're always doing this, right? Our insulin sensitivity starts to go away. And you need more and more insulin to get the response that your body wants to do. So you become insulin resistant when you continue eating all this sugar. And when you're insulin resistant, you eat food, and we were talking earlier about communication, right? We want these processes to happen. That stops. All right, it does not happen anymore. You don't get those communication markers. It doesn't happen anymore. And what happens is it just starts to store it as fat. So insulin is either going to take that energy, store it in our adipose tissue, our fat, it'll store it as fat, or it'll use it to replenish muscle glycogen if you just use did a high intense workout, or you're consistently working out and doing high intensity exercises. So that insulin resistance, controlling your insulin resistance and modulating that, it's important. It's what we want to do. And the way you do that is by removing sugar. Remove your sugar, add all the added sugars that you could possibly have, candy, soda, a lot of packaged goods food, a lot of refined carbohydrates, some dairy, milk products, ice cream, lots of things. It's literally in everything, guys. So that's why dairy is not on that list. It's loaded with it. It's masked in it. It makes it taste really good, really, 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 really good. And a lot of dairy products are sweet. That's why. It's loaded with sugar. What up?
What about almond milk?
I'm down with almond milk.
Okay.
I'm cool with almond milk. I think that's fine. Mm-hmm.
It's not dairy.
Right.
Yeah.
We have the unsweetened almond milk.
Yeah, unsweetened almond milk is a fantastic substitute. That's what I mix with my protein shakes at home if I want to make one. But if there's anything I can have you guys walk away with today and express my genuine passion for, take sugar out of your diet, and you will start to feel really, really good. I have a challenge for you guys. I have a strong challenge. Go 2 weeks without any sugar. Go as strict as you possibly can. And then, go have some. See how you feel. See how it makes you think. And just internally how you feel afterwards. There's going to be some guilt. You'll feel guilty. There's no way to walk around living life feeling guilty. None of that. You're going to feel sluggish. Go do it for yourself. And then come tell me how you feel. We'll talk about it. It'll be a good conversation.
Does that include fruit?
No. That does not include fruit. Because it'll have a different response. You can have fruit. Just not too much. Not too crazy much. Don't think, oh, a freaking whole thing of fruits and berries. Well, again, your body doesn't really discriminate things too hard. It looks at stuff. It is what it is, right? Sugar is sugar, and fruits are sugar, but it's a different form. It's the natural form of sugar. It's where it's from the earth, right? It came from the ground. We just can't go overboard with it, but you will see results, I think, if you have some fruit, just some. All right, let's go into, all right, any other things, any other questions? We talked about sugar, that was kind of a big subject, quality of foods, quantity of foods, nothing? All right, so we're going to briefly run through supplements really quick. Protein is, it helps you build muscle tissue. When you need it, it makes you big, it makes you strong. We really, really like SFH, Stronger, Faster, Harder protein. It's grass-fed, and Driven Nutrition's protein. It's grass-fed as well. It's loaded with the good stuff. Driven Nutrition is formulated for CrossFitters. SFH is the purest form of protein I've ever seen. I used to be in the supplement industry for a long time. And SFH is very, very clean. So if you're concerned about what you're putting into your body, the other stuff. Driven Nutrition does have some like sucralose in it and other artificial sweeteners and stuff in it. So it's a give and take. You have to kind of modulate where you want your flavors from. So SFH or Driven Nutrition is where we're at. I think protein shakes are best taken after you work out. Personally, that's when I do it, within that 20-minute window after a workout for my recovery purposes. If I was someone, though, maybe I worked out in the morning at 5:30 a.m., I didn't like eating in the morning, I'll have a protein shake before my workout, and that's going to give me the exact same benefits afterwards. Again, you can use it as need. Questions on protein shakes? Cool. All right, cool. Creatine. This one is good. I think everybody should take creatine, no matter who you are, what age you are, what your goals are. Creatine is good stuff. Creatine is it's a non-essential nutrient, but it's naturally produced in our body, so we already have creatine in us. What creatine does is it helps convert energy systems, right? So kind of like insulin, it helps convert energy systems in our body and in our blood. And the more creatine that we have in our system, we can be more explosive with our workouts. So the workouts that we do in here, that highly glycolytic stuff, are just massive bursts of intense energy, a really heavy 1-rep max deadlift, or a 5-minute sprint, or even a 20-minute AMRAP. The more creatine you guys have in your body, the longer you're going to be able to push through. It's just, look at it as higher energy reserves, if you will, plus muscle building and faster recovery. So I think everyone should take creatine. Micronized creatine from Driven Nutrition is the one I really, really like. There's some other brands that you can get to. Creatine monohydrate is a good brand as well. But do note here with creatine, when you first initially start taking it, the idea is to fill the cells in your body up with a little bit more water, and as it fills up with water, more nutrients get tossed into the cell as well, and then that helps us burn off more energy. So sometimes there might be more water retention. We've seen people like saying, I feel really bloated after I take creatine. Sometimes that happens, but after about a 3-week period of consistent use and being on it, we find that dissipates and starts to go away in your body, finds homeostasis. So if you take creatine, you're like, I'm super bloated now. It's okay. It'll go away after a
So
little bit.
Ben, when do you take it and how often do you take it?
Creatine, once after a workout. You can do before and after workouts if you want to toss them in a pre-workout if you do that, but I really think 5 grams after your workout is where you get the most bang for your buck, because then we can get the increase in ATP production so that you can recover faster for your workout. But again, the same goes for reverse. If you have some more creatine in your system before your workout, it's a more intense workout. A lot of pre-workouts nowadays, and I'm not recommending you guys go out and buy pre-workouts. That's a whole other belly of beast. That's not on this list, but they're loaded with creatine monohydrates or micronized creatine to increase the energy expenditure you have in your workouts. But the recovery benefits that you guys get from it and how you feel after taking creatine, I highly recommend everyone takes it. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. I think creatine is good for all ages. It has lots of good benefits. Questions on creatine?
Do you take it every day or just?
Just when you're working out. I would say just when I'm working out, I would take it, because an overload of it on days where you're resting and doing that stuff, it's not one of those things where like melatonin, you have too much melatonin, your body will stop producing melatonin. It's not really like that, but I would just save your money, basically. Use it as you need it for when you need energy or when you need to recover for your next training session. So treat it like that. But if you wanted to, go for it. See what happens when you might recover really, really well. Maybe you're stupid sore and you're like, damn, I really need some. Go for it. I like to get unflavored kind. They have flavored stuff, but if you just get unflavored kind and toss it in your protein shake, combine it. You don't have to get all these separate things. Just put 2 and 2 together. There's even a couple, I think SFH has a recovery protein that they sell, and we can get that for you guys too. It has your 5 grams of creatine already in that protein. And we find that a lot of them already have that in there too. So you might already have creatine in your protein or in the supplement that you're taking afterwards. So
Make sure it's just creatine and not other stuff in it.
What's up?
Make sure it's just creatine and not other stuff.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. I like that. So he's saying if you buy this jug of protein, it says, yeah, it's got, your serving of creatine in it afterwards. You don't know how much exactly. These guys, they might have just tossed a little bit in there and then put on the label that says, hey, it's loaded with
Make sure
creatine.
you're not getting a pre-workout. You're just wanting the creatine source of it.
Right. Just because the supplement industry, it's not regulated by the FDA, guys, and it's kind of a hazy field, so we're pretty particular about the brands that we recommend to you guys. Driven Nutrition and SFH, I'm really comfortable with. Again, like I say, I've been in that supplement industry. I kind of get their trends and what the language they use whenever companies are not very truthful or their products are subpar. There's just behaviors and things that they do that kind of make them, I don't know about you. But Driven and SFH, we're all about. Fish oil. I think fish oil is another one of those all-around things. Everybody should be taking some fish oil, unless you're allergic to shellfish. Then you should probably talk to your doctor about taking it. Or if you're taking blood thinners, then consider that a little bit, because it will thin the blood out a little bit. But fish oil will really help improve your guys' recovery. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, so it'll reduce inflammation in the body. And this one is going to help improve insulin sensitivity. So we talked about that a little bit ago. Eating so much sugar all the time hurts the insulin sensitivity in your body. You won't respond to insulin spikes, and you need more and more insulin. If you supplement with fish oil, studies have found that it improves your insulin sensitivity, and you'll be able to respond to those things better. So that should help with weight loss right there. Also, it'll help increase with that insulin sensitivity. If that is better, your muscle recovery is going to be better. So you respond to insulin. That's not just giving you more fat. Giving you that insulin response is going to help muscle recovery and glycogen replenishment happen a whole lot. It's exactly why we want to have a meal about an hour after we work out. This will help that process, and it'll make it a little bit more efficient. it can help reduce your stress by lowering cortisol in the body. And does everyone know about cortisol? What cortisol is? Cortisol is a hormone produced in your body, and we kind of call it the stress hormone. If you're really, 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 really stressed, your body will produce a whole lot of cortisol. It's not really that good for us. We don't want it in we don't want it in a lot of quantities. It's got its good properties for it, but it can help you, it can make you retain body fat a lot longer, and it can really disrupt sleep patterns. So really good sleep, 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, plus supplementing fish oils can help pull the sleep down. But it helps cardiovascular health. Also with EPA and DHA, those are the two kind of fatty acid compounds found in fish oil, and that's the most important thing, the EPA, DHA content. We only sell the SFH liquid form of fish oil here, and that's the only kind I'll ever take. The pills that they sell at Walmart or just your traditional stores, the dosage of EPA to DHA content in them is stupid low. Take one of ours, the liquid thing, and then go compare it next to their bottles. Look on the back and look at the EPA and DHA content in each one. I think the SFH, EPA, and DHA content is like 1,500 grams. EPA, DHA is like 2,000 maybe. It's in thousands. It's really high up there. And then you go to the Walmart brand, it's like 200 or like 300 milligrams. So the dosage would have to be tripled, quadrupled to get what you guys really need out of it to do that. So the way it helps your cardiovascular health, you can think of fish oil as sort of I don't know, it makes it a little bit more permeable. So the example that I give, or that I heard and that I give people, imagine that this room is just full of like 300 people, right? And it's just super crowded. And then all of a sudden, a fire bursted out right on that wood wall over there. Well, holy crap, we all got to get out of the building really, really quick. So this is the only door, because the garage door is broken. This is the only door, so we're all trying to flood out of this door. So what the fire is inflammation. All of us are blood cells, and we're going to get stuck trying to get out the door. We're going to run into one another, and it's going to be a very, very slow process. When you supplement with fish oil, it makes you a little bit more permeable, a little bit more movable. So maybe we were all really, really squishy, right? And as we're trying to run out the door, we would all just kind of like squish in with one another. We would flow out a lot easier. You can think of it like that.
We become Jello.
You become Jello, essentially, right? So it improves just circulation. It will improve circulation and can help reduce plaque and other buildup in the arteries. And the last supplement that I recommend you guys take are branched chain amino acids, BCAAs. These are amino acids the body will not produce, but really they're made of three big important ones: leucine, isoleucine, and valine. They're really, really potent and helpful with building muscle and recovery and just how you feel in performance throughout your workout. I recommend you take branched chain amino acids during your workout. It'll give you an extra little bit of a push through your workouts. You'll feel a little bit better, and it can help the recovery process more. Every protein shake has a full serving of branched chain amino acids. So if you're taking a protein shake right after your workout, do you really need BCAAs? They can help, but I've got a couple of people that I work with who take branched chain amino acids in lieu of protein just because they don't like the texture, flavor of protein. They can get a lot of the benefits from a protein shake with branched chain amino acids. And yeah, take it during your workout or after the workout. Both are good, but it'll really help with immediate performance and recovery. And guys, that's all she wrote.
Can I say something?
Please.
This, I was just reading the label. Driven has BCAAs in it. So Driven-
Yes, Driven Nutrition has a full serving of branched chain amino acids in it.
SFH does not. SFH is straight protein.
Interesting. That's crazy.
I'll let you read it.
I guess I shouldn't say all proteins have a full serving in those things. But guys, let's hear some questions. What do you guys got? Yes, Ann?
Okay, so you've totally stressed me out and overwhelmed me.
It's,
Cortisol.
yeah. So that wasn't the goal.
Cortisol.
Yeah. So,
So how can I help you?
so, where do we start?
Okay, yeah. So I think the second part of it got kind of crazy, right? We started going off some crazy things and crazy tangents and science-y bull crap, whatever. Where you start is develop a food list. All right, think of some proteins. your vegetables and your fats that you can work off of, right? And just whatever fishes, chickens, proteins, asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, sweet potatoes, wet potatoes, and squash, and olive oil and avocados. You can start with that right there and build some meals with your single ingredient. So you're talking like how would you start with meal prep, or how do you just like start
In general.
in general?
I need to be spoon fed.
You need to be spoon fed. So-
Not that bad.
The best way I can tell you to start is if you need to be spoon fed, prep your meals. You can do that. We're all adults, and we all control what we put into our body. You have that control. You have that choice. You go out to eat. You do not have to eat what everybody else is eating. You go out to eat. You can modify the meal. Can I have the chicken platter with no extra butter, cooked in no extra butter, with a side of broccoli, cooked in no extra butter, and a baked potato with no extra stuff? You can do that right there, just going out to eat. Plan your meals out in advance and maybe lunch at work is really, really hard for you to eat healthy with, because in the morning, do you have time to cook in the morning?
No, I usually eat downstairs.
You eat downstairs, like at work?
Yeah,
And
two eggs,
like a-
eggs toast.
Every morning?
Every morning.
Every morning?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, diversity doesn't help you out a little bit. But so is that what you do? You have they have to cook your food? Are there other options they can do? Like,
Yeah,
can
we
they,
have to cook. I mean, I could.
could you you could do that. That would probably be the best option right there. But again, a lot of people eat in cafeterias all day. You just have to be that person that you don't want to be and make them cook you special food. It's okay. You can ask. You can do these things. And 9 times out of 10, everybody's going to do that for you. So if you go down to the cafeteria, hey, can I have 2 eggs, a banana, and try to, if they have some sort of a vegetable, I don't know, maybe like a green pepper and onion mix that you can toss in with your eggs, or a fajita mix, some broccoli, something. Just look and see what they got and try to make those smart choices. With the meal prep side of it, maybe lunch is really hard to get. Well, go buy 5 containers. They don't have to be like, I like 3 compartment containers, because that way you can really start to section off and you can portion out your food a little bit better. We're actually running a challenge recently. This is our new 6-week challenge, and it's got nutrition portion part of it. We're going to force these guys to eat out of a 3 compartment container, with a big container, 2 small containers. The 2 small containers, one has their lean protein serving in it. The other small container has their starchy carbohydrate. And then the big container is full of vegetables. Full of vegetables right there. So it's just a very simple guide, like, fill your container up like this right here and eat your meals. That's a starting point. But stick to the whole foods. If there's anything I can tell you guys to start off with right now, is stop eating processed foods and develop a food list. Go home, write down your categories. Where's my markers? Okay, you get it. Write down protein, write down the one you want. Root vegetables or starchy carbohydrates, write down the ones that are good. If you're like, man, that stuff is all really long to cook, it's too much work, I need some grains, I need some rice in my life, or I need this. Toss that in and start with it, but try to let the end goal be remove those refined carbohydrates, just so you can see what happens with your body, because a lot of people have those refined carbohydrates and it keeps messing them up. List all your green and brightly colored vegetables that you want to have, and then your fats, and build meals off of it. With the hand portion size is right there. Pick 3 meals a day to start with and see what happens. But it's a commitment to it. 9 times out of 10, the hardest part of this is making those daily choices. And that's where someone needs to you need to be held accountable. Accountability is a lot of it for a lot of people, and if you can't hold yourself accountable, let us know. We have resources that can help hold you accountable with it, but it's a decision. It's a decision and an awareness to make yourself healthy. If you care, you'll do it. If you don't care, you won't do it. All of you took the time to wake up today, drive up here, in like 5-degree weather and listen to me talk about nutrition. And the reality is, guys, I didn't say anything that was groundbreaking. I didn't say anything that you probably didn't already kind of know a little bit. You got to get my mindset, my why as to why I eat this way and what's important to me with it, and kind of what I will tell people to influence them to push down that path. But it takes a lot of self-reflection. You've got to learn about yourself. Going back to that emotional connections with food slide, that might be the most important slide that we have here today. Knowing your tendencies with food, your patterns, and what you like, what you don't like, who you are as a person. It's scary stuff, and it's all rooted in change, I think. And we know humans hate change. We don't like change. It's normal, right? We're in homeostasis. We're good. We're in a normal right now. And you doing this is going to cause change. I'm going to tell you guys right now, your body it's not going to like the change at first. All right? We were talking to John right there, 2 weeks to adapt to any sort of change. Those 2 weeks aren't necessarily comfortable. Your body's fighting it. Your body wants to go back to normal. Again, we're primal. It's going back to that, but we had so much food. And it was so satisfying. It made my brain happy. But now we're not giving it that anymore. You have to condition your body. When you guys first started CrossFit, you had to learn how to air squat. And you had to learn how to do sit-up and a plank. You had to learn how to do all these things. And then we introduced some weights, some kettlebells, a barbell. And we introduced more complicated movements like a snatch and a clean and jerk and gymnastics movements. We didn't come in guns blazing and throwing things around like that. It just doesn't work like that way with nutrition. It takes time to develop these skills. It takes time to develop these mindsets. And that's where the work is. That's really where it's at. Knowing yourself and committing. What else? Any other questions? Open book. Am I even being recorded anymore? Am I out of the picture?
Yeah, you're recording.
Well, guys, thank you all very much for coming out today. I really hope we get to do this again. If you guys have any questions afterwards and you just don't want to raise your hand, feel free to shoot me a message on Facebook, and I'd love to help you with your questions. And if you feel that you need more guidance, maybe you need accountability or a more specific plan, this was not enough. I do nutrition counseling now for the gym. We'll sit you down for an hour, and I'll try to figure out your life, try to figure out what are your limiting factors, and I'll work with you to alleviate them, and we'll develop an actionable plan where we take steps and we develop action, and we get you to an end result. So, thank you guys very much again, and yeah, can I ask a question?
Ben.
Cool.
Hey, you guys, we've got some samples of the protein.
Yeah. Cool.
So